My whole career has been basically self-generated in terms of just mostly starting from being a writer. So it's basically if I care passionately enough about writing something. But then honestly, like I've written a lot of stuff that I haven't then tried to produce subsequently. And so I think that it just means that I have to know that I'm willing to die on this hill. I love it enough to spend, 4 years minimum with this project, trying to kind of get it out into the world. And so I think feeling that level of pride in it, feeling that level of urgency behind it. So that's because that's kind of where it comes from for me. And even talking about being like a woman in the arts, I think because of the fact that I'm primarily a writer and primarily kind of creating my own projects and like bringing people on as I see fit, I've managed to sidestep a lot of negativity, frankly. Like I feel like typically what gets in the way is myself or just, circumstances, but I don't feel because I've basically been my own boss with all these projects. Yeah, it hasn't been something that's been a huge headwind in my universe.
Yeah.
How about you, Linds?
For me, like it definitely like I can't do it if I don't care about it at all. Like, first of all, like the person approaching me has to be inspired. They have to be inspiring me, make me think like, okay, yes. Because if I'm gonna spend hours, weeks, months of my life sitting at the computer with this, I have to like have some sense of like loyalty to it, or like, just like, feeling like as if I'm investing in something, like raising a child, you know what I mean? Like some care for it. And so and then also, like, if I'm looking at like the script or the concept or whatever it is, I have to see its potential for growth. I have to see, like, okay, it's here, but we can elevate it here. And that's something that only I can do. Like I'm not just going to take a job that like somebody at like a post house should take, and they'll just spend the money and get the product. Like I'm not that type of person. Like money doesn't motivate me in that way to be like, oh, if you could make this much money as an editor every single day, but you'd have to do this stuff all day, I'd be like, nah, I'll be poor. You know what I mean? Like, because if I don't like it, like I will not sit there and work on it. Like it's this mind thing where I have to be on board, and there's no, like, to me that's what film is about. Like it's not about like, oh, this is just my job, and now that this is my job, I'm gonna go be like go do a more like corporate type of setting, or like, that's why like directors and stuff that I work with, like I like them, I want to be friends with them. But I get that from like photography and stuff too, like, how I take clients through that. Like that's just, it has to be something that I also love. And I think that that is then what makes us both the most successful, is because we both really believe in it. I'm not just another person on set that's like, yeah, Phoebe, that's great, like, but not really caring what she's doing. I'm like, wait, if you're trying to do this, then why are we doing this? Or like we should do it like this, or like whatever, like, and you need somebody who like cares in that way to question things. And if I come into the project skeptically and I'm like, what do you have for me? What can I do here? That's the best attitude to have, instead of being like, oh my gosh, yes, I'm so grateful for work, give it to me. Because then you're working this job that doesn't actually validate you. Like I worked for people and with people and been mentored by people that have incredible filmographies and don't believe in themselves because they just have always done it, and they got an agent that just gave them these jobs, and they felt like they never had kind of their own autonomy or their own experience in it besides how they could present themselves within their work. But I circumvent that by like being picky beforehand.